Hello, and welcome to Fox 5 News. Today we are kicking off the show with another segment of Appreciating the Past. Let's go to Lauren for more information.
Thank you, Sydney. Today on Appreciating the Past, we will be looking back on the wonderful success in movies, music, theater, and the arts during the 1920s, the era that revolutionized entertainment.
Movies were an art form that captured the interest of the masses worldwide during the 1920s. As a new form of entertainment, their success was extremely rapid. They made people laugh, making the world a happier place to live in after the horrors of World War I. The 1920s moviegoers' experience was largely dominated by silent movies. Early silent movies were often accompanied by live piano or organ music and provided enormous entertainment value to audience captivated by the experience of watching moving pictures on the silver screen. Although there had been previous attempts to introduce sound, it wasn't until 1923 that a synchronized soundtrack was photographically recorded and printed onto the side of the strip of motion picture film and made it onto a commercially distributed movie. It would still be 7 years before talking pictures gained total supremacy and finally replaced the silent film era. One of the most famous silent film stars in history is Charlie Chaplin. Fox 5 News found an old interview of the star during the peak of his career.
How are you today?
I'm good, Sydney. How are you?
I'm good. So when did you discover you had such remarkable comedic and acting skills? What made you want to be an actor?
Well, I don't remember any distinct moment where I decided acting was what I was going to do. I think it was just natural for me. When I was young, if I had trouble communicating, I would try to make the person I was talking to laugh. I noticed that it made things better, and I felt this rush whenever someone would take the joy out of something I was doing. So I continued. Now it has given me a job, and one that I am very grateful for. I care about acting in my work immensely. If I could do something else better, I would do it, but I can't.
Wow, very interesting. So, The Tramp is one of your characters beloved by many audiences. Can you talk about how you created the character and why you think it's been accepted by so many people?
Well, it came about when the cameraman told me to put on some makeup. I didn't know how makeup worked or what I was doing. I went to the costume department and picked out clothes that didn't match in the slightest, like baggy trousers and a tight coat, a small hat for my large head. I wanted to look raggy but still like a gentleman. Even though the character is comedic, I wanted the makeup to bring out the sadness and seriousness of the character. The contradictions apparent in his clothes are also apparent in his facial expressions and actions. The comedy is hidden at first to the audiences, therefore when the laughter hits them, it is more impactful. I think that is why audiences like The Tramp. He is relatable and funny. He is not perfect and knows it. He doesn't take life or himself too seriously. That's something that is important to me too. And I wanted to show people that it's okay to be like that.
Okay.
The 1920s were the boom years for Broadway. In 1927 alone, over 250 shows debuted on Broadway, and over 50 of them were musical. It's estimated that 20 million people attended shows that year, which is twice the box office receipts as now. This is especially impressive considering how many more people live in and travel to New York now as compared to then. Broadway was the popular entertainment. In 1904, Lawmaker Square in New York was renamed Times Square, and a new subway station was opened there. For the first time, people could easily travel to 42nd Street and see a show. And Broadway quickly became the concentrated area of the theaters that it is today. Frederick Marsh was one of the most famous actors on Broadway. Have a look at this old interview with him.
Hi, Frederick. How are you today?
I'm good, Sydney. How are you?
I'm good. So, we're just going to jump into the questions if that's all right with you. How exactly did you get your start in the acting business?
Well, after being sick, I decided that it was time to take a look at how happy I was. So I quit my job as a banker and started being extras for movies that were being filmed here in New York.
Wow, that was a big change in your life. In the past, you've only been in movies, but last year you appeared in the Broadway shows The Half Caste and Devil in the Cheese. What can you tell us about that?
Well, you see, I love acting anyways, and I really enjoyed comedy, so it worked quite well. Acting on a stage, it's so upcoming than filming. Broadway is inevitably going to become massively successful, and I'm glad that I could play a role in the development of it, no matter how small it may be.
Jazz gained popularity in America and worldwide by the 1920s. Nothing quite like it had ever happened before in America. New exuberant dances were devised to take advantage of the upbeat tempos of jazz and ragtime music. Jazz had spread to dance halls and other venues, including speakeasies, all over America by the mid-1920s. Early jazz influences started to manifest themselves in the music used by marching bands and dance bands of the day, which was the main form of popular concert music in the early 20th century. Take a look at this snippet of music by Louis Armstrong.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
That's all for this segment of Appreciating the Past here on Fox 5 News. Be sure to stay tuned for our next segment. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon.